Yeah, hello guys. So in last video we discussed about that common error that we get while accessing some file from outside the SRC folder. So always keep in mind, just declare or define or create all the files inside this particular directory, and then access you can easily access it from here. And again you can create new folder inside this particular SRC directory, and that will not be an issue. Means that you will not be getting any error or something. Just you are developers have restricted us to define any define what we can say, create any file outside particular outside from this src folder and then access it. So again that can be overridden by using some eject commands and doing some changes to configuration, but we are not going to do that. We are always going to write our code inside src directory only, and we are going to create file this in this particular folder only. So let's move forward and create see our very first concept of react, and that is JSX attribute. Let me write down uh, JSX attributes. So we are going to talk about what are JSX attributes, and this is the, I guess, fifth video of the series, or sixth, I don't remember. But again, so since like in last video we discussed about that how to import file and how to apply some CSS to particular file, particular HTML. So what we did, we basically wanted to print our hello world in red red color. So that was we were able to do that in last video. But again there is no error. Our code is successfully working. But if we go to browser and inspect this particular page, right now you can see it is there is some warning there. And what is the warning all about? Invalid DOM property class. Did you mean class name? So what is that? And why are we getting that? And in many cases what can happen, even you can get error here also. Means right now you are getting just warning, but again you can get a error. So if you do not handle that properly. So that is because we are right now working inside JS, and basically we are writing JSX code. Means we are defining these HTML tags, and we are working inside JS file, and we are writing JSX code. And keep in mind, we are not defining, we haven't defined any HTML file, and we are we are not writing any HTML code. So right now we can't use this class property, because while using this class to define any class to particular HTML, that was that we used to do inside HTML. But right now we are not writing any HTML code. We are writing JSX code. And JSX is what JSX is. JSX is basically a JavaScript only, but that's just the extended form of JavaScript. So in JavaScript, if we wanted to write the same code in JavaScript, so we have to use this class name property, because in JavaScript we use camel casing, and for defining class name property, we use this keyword class name to define class to any DOM element. DOM element is what basically this h1 or division, anything. These HTML elements are called DOM elements. So to define this particular to give this to give the DOM element any class, we used to use this class name element in JavaScript, if we talk about this proper JavaScript format. So again, since we are using JSX, but right now we cannot ignore that fact. We are we are working with HTML file. We are not working with that HTML file now. From now on we will be working with JSX syntax na. So that JSX syntax require to define class name property. Again, if I hover over this like click over this class name property, you can see this is like this is showing me JSX attribute, and it is getting the all the detail from adding element and everything. Because so that is JSX attribute. Because ultimately we are writing the code inside JS file, so all the properties that it is going to inherit is from JavaScript format only, not by HTML. So again, if I save this code and I run now, inspect my I forgot to reload this page. So once I reload, now you can see the warning is gone. because right now we define the clear attribute that we are going to use class name. And again, if that concept is not clear to you, I'm going to show you something like if I search for class name in JavaScript. So now, right now you can see the first link we can open. Now you can see the same thing. If we wanted to set the class for a particular division element or h1 element, so how can we write this particular syntax in JavaScript? So we will have to use this class name property. So that is the same thing we are doing there. Because we are writing JSX, we are not writing proper JavaScript, so we are not writing this way. But again, if we wanted to write the same thing in proper JavaScript format, so that is we will have to do ultimately. So that is the thing we are basically doing here. So that is why we are using class name, because class name is a property of or attribute of JavaScript, or you can say JSX. So these are the attributes you have to keep in mind while working with React, because ultimately you have to do a lot of camel casing while defining any property that belongs to JavaScript and HTML both. And while working with HTML you can directly define them, but while using JavaScript you have to define in the proper manner. So always keep in mind what JSX attributes are and how to use them. Just always think of anything defining while you are defining anything inside JSX, just always think of that you are writing only a JavaScript code. Though we are able to define this HTML division or tags directly, but still that is a JavaScript code only. And Babel is taking care of everything, we know that, but still we are writing JavaScript code. So if we wanted to write this in a particular JavaScript format, we will have to use this class name property only. So that is why this is the concept of particular concept of what we call it JSX attribute. So now you can see that now I've already shown you that warning was gone. And there's another concept of JSX is. And what concept is that? Now what I can do, what the functionality JSX give me, till now what we are doing, we are writing HTML code inside JavaScript. But again, what I can do, I can go one level deeper. Means right now I can write this particular inside these HTML tags, I can write JavaScript again. So that will be a nested loop kind of thing. Like in first you created a JavaScript file, then you wrote a HTML code inside that JavaScript file. Again you are able to write JavaScript inside that HTML code as well. So how can we do that? Just always just I'm going to show that how can you use this particular JavaScript code inside particular HTML tag in JSX. So suppose I define a variable and I give it a name and I name it like what we call it, my suppose my I give it my channel name, so web roadmap. And I wanted to I wanted to print this channel name with a particular syntax hello, and hello, welcome to my channel. And then what I can do now, just see it, what I can do now, I can directly use this name here. So now what is going to happen, just see the changes. If I run if I go to browser and I run it, hello, welcome to my channel web roadmap. So what we did basically, we we wrote an JavaScript code basically, and we used that code inside our proper HTML tag. And how can we use it? Just by using these curly braces. So always use curly braces whenever you want to display something over browser inside HTML tag. So this way we write JavaScript inside HTML, and again HTML we have written inside JavaScript. So this is a nested concept. So these two concepts I wanted to discuss in this video. First was that class name property, not class name, just JSX attributes. And second is that this one, that how can you access particular JavaScript variables or anything, or JavaScript code from particular inside HTML. So now you can see my name is coming, my channel name is coming down here. And how can we print that? By using these curly braces. So anything I wanted to write, I can write it. Again I can create a new variable, and what we call it, suppose name 2 and new roadmap. So again, what I can do, I can name to, and now you can see if I reload that page, so new roadmap. So in this way you can write any as many time as you want. So this was the concept, and again since we are writing down now only one line, so in next video I will be discussing about like how can you create define multiple what we call it multiple HTML elements, and how can you render over the web page. So till now the concept was basically what are JSX attributes and how to use JS inside a particular HTML element. So I hope that is clear. From now on, in next video we will be discussing about components, concept and everything. So just join me in the next session. Thank you.